In this step-by-step beginner tutorial, you will learn everything you need to get started with AutoCAD, from choosing the right template and using only the tools that truly matter at a beginner level, to drawing and modifying lines and cycles with precision. Then we dive into layers. Even a cool trick with layers most beginners miss. We will tie it all together with a mini project of a toilet. Even better, toilets. We will finish by helping you truly understand how to plot your drawing to a PDF the right way, from basics to mastery. Let's start. Once you open up your AutoCAD, you will be greeted with this welcome screen. You will see your recent files here. You can click here to view them as a list view, or here to view them as a grid view to see the thumbnail of your work. However, what you are concerned is starting your own new drawing, and to do that, you have to select a template, which you can do in two places. One is to come here and click on this arrow beside the new, click it and select Browse Template, and then you will get this Select Template dialog box. They may seem like that, but the only one you need are either AutoCAD ISO, which is the one for metric millimeters, or AutoCAD, which is the one if you're using inches. Or if your interface is an older version, you can come up here and click on this new icon, and you get the same Select Template dialog box. I will be using millimeters, so I will just select this one and click on Open. But if you are using inches, simply select AutoCAD alone. Then click on Open, and then your new file will be created. This is the AutoCAD user interface, which might look like a lot, but you hardly use 95% of what you are seeing. If this grid is tormenting you, you can come down here and click here to turn it off. It is gone. The cursor you've taken to turn off the grid is called crosshair in AutoCAD. Now you can see this is our file is named drawing1. You can see drawing1 here as well. Let's save it. Click on save here, give it a name, and I will give it a name like AutoCAD tutorial toilet, something like this, or whatever name you like. And then I'll click on save, and you can see it instantly changed here and on the title bar as well. Now AutoCAD, unlike the rest of the softwares, they would command. Everything in AutoCAD is command. Hence that is why we have this guy entering our drawing area, which is called the command line. You can come to the view tab, although I don't advise it. You can click here, you can come here, you will see command line. If you select it, yes, select yes, it will be gone. Definitely you don't want that, so click it again to make it appear again. So go back to the home tab. The view tab that we went is on the ribbon, and ribbon is where everything is located. Everything you need, you can find it here. Now to draw a line in AutoCAD, all you have to do is either type it here or select it up here on the ribbon. If I click on the line and then click anywhere in the drawing area, as the command line is telling us, space 5 first point. If I click once, say space 5 another point. If I click here again, space 5 next point. If I click space 5, it will keep asking you to space 5 and next point. That's how you draw line. And how you end a command is you either press enter on your keyboard or press the escape key on your keyboard, or you right click on your mouse and then you will get the same effect. Enter to finish, cancel to cancel the command. You select enter, or you can press enter on your keyboard. To erase, because we don't want this, simply click once and make sure everything is within this window and just click. Now everything is selected. Simply select this erase to delete it. Now select that line again, click once, just make random shapes like this. And if you want a straight line, you must turn on the ortho mode, which is this one. Select it, point to a direction. This will constrain your crosshair in a perfectly horizontal, either to the right or to the left, or up or down. So I'll point this direction and click, and you can continue clicking in whatever direction you want. However, if you make a mistake and you want to undo it, come down here and click this undo, and it will undo the last line segment. Click the undo again, click it again, and you are back to this point. Now, there are some people who think AutoCAD is dead because it's 2025, maybe something like this. If you turn off your author mode and continue clicking, AutoCAD is still alive. Turn back your author mode, click and then press enter. Now to make something meaningful with this line, I will select it and then press the delete key on your keyboard. Select the line again, click once, point to this direction. Let's give a distance. I will try to give a distance of, as I am reading from the dynamic input, and the command that is responsible for that is this guy, dynamic input. If I turn it off, I will go blind. I mean, the crosshair will go blind. If I turn it back again, now I can see the dimension as I am moving the line. If you don't see this guy here, anything here, you can customize it by clicking on this customization button. Click it and make sure dynamic input is checked. You see it is gone. Now it's back. Click away, give a distance. I will try to give a distance of 700 and then I'll press enter. I will point downward and type 600. Then I'll press enter. I will press enter again to end that command. Now if you want a line at an angle, then author mode won't help you. What you need is its brother, which is polar tracking, the one beside author mode. If you click it, author mode will be turned off. If you click author, it will be turned off. They can be on at the same time. Select polar tracking, select your line. Beside polar tracking, select an increment angle you want. Maybe you want 45, select 45. Now I will click once here and point to this direction. You will see at an angle of 45. If I know the distance, I can put it. Let me type 400 at an angle of 45. I will just press enter. I will press enter to end that command. Now I will select the line. I can click here. I will point to this direction. Make sure you're on the green line, which says 135 degrees. If I come here, it is at 90. Here at 45. Here at 180. And you might think it will add 45 to 180, which isn't the case in AutoCAD. If I take it here, it will show 135. Once your angle hits 180, it reverts back to 0. It doesn't continue to 360. That's why here it will show you 135, but on this one it will show you 225. Bring it here, which we know is 270, but in AutoCAD it's 90. Here we really know it's 315, and in AutoCAD is 45. Now point to this direction. I'm seeing the digits, so I will type 450 and then I'll press enter. Press enter again to end that command. Now if you want a horizontal line with polar tracking, you can do that. Select the line, click once, point to this direction and just type your value. Maybe I want 500. I will just press enter and press enter again. Now let's move on to cycles. To draw cycles in AutoCAD, we have 6 methods, but I'm not going to treat them all. The first one is if you know your radius. If I click here, and as it says here, specify center point, just click once, point to a direction and give your value. I will give 100 and then press enter. Now this is a cycle with 100 radius. Select the cycle again, click once, point to another direction and type 300. Press enter. Now this is a cycle with a radius of 300. Click this drop down, which are called flyout, meaning there is more to the tool than what we are seeing. Select the center diameter, click once. Now if I type a diameter of 100, it will be smaller than this because it is the diameter. If I select the diameter again, as you can see, the diameter is now the default. Click once, point to a direction and type 300. Press enter. It will be smaller than this because the diameter is all of it, while the radius is just half of it. And for the last cycle I will show in this video, click on this drop down, select tan radius, select this line, this one, and this one, and we get a cycle tangent to those points. Now let's move on to copy. Copying in AutoCAD, just select copy, which is here on the modify panel. Select copy, select this line and this line, and then I'll press enter. Now if I select this endpoint, which is possible because of this O snap, make sure it is turned on, click the arrow beside it and check endpoint, click away, select this endpoint, and I will drop it here. The original will remain highlighted blue. I can keep on copying however I want. If I get enough, I can just press enter to end that command. Same thing, I can select the copy, select the cycle, press enter on my keyboard. I can pick anywhere as my base point at it is prompting me here, specify a base point. For this something like step, I specify this endpoint. But for this cycle, if you want to copy it precisely, you just hover over the circumference. You don't click, you just like touch it, and then this center mark will appear. Just click it, drop it to an endpoint, something like this. Maybe you want to drop it here, just hover over the circumference, drop one here, maybe one here, just like this. Now I press the escape key. Now in AutoCAD, if you want something completely gone, just like any other program, you just select the object, there is erase, and they are gone. But if you want part of it gone, then you have to use the trim command, which is this one. Click on trim. Now it will ask you to select object. The easiest way is just to press enter to accept all objects as cutting edge. So just press enter, and now select somewhere like here, it will trim. Somewhere like here, it won't trim because there is nothing that is intersecting it. This one will trim, and this one too will trim because this one is intersecting and this one won't. I will show you why in a minute. Now to extend a line, you can simply click on the fly out beside trim and select extend. Just like trim, it will ask you this. Just press enter to select all. Let me press the escape. Let me draw some line. If I draw this line, and how it works, it extends to a boundary. Now if you select extend and press enter to select all, click here, it will extend to this, and if I click it again, it will extend to this cycle. Click it again, it will extend here. Click it again, click it again. Now if I try to click it again, it doesn't have anything to extend to. Likewise, if I select this one, it will extend to this one. If I select it again, it will extend to this line. If I try to select it, it doesn't have anything to extend to. Press the escape key to end that command. Select line. I will click once, click here, and click here. Now I press the escape key. Now if you select the extend and press enter on your keyboard and extend the line, it will extend to this new line because it has a boundary to extend to. Just like this one, it will extend to this line. Again, if you try, it doesn't have anything further to extend, nothing further to extend. Which brings us to our final tool that I'll be showing, which is the offset tool, which is very simple and makes the whole process easier. There is offset, which makes a parallel copy or concentric copy of your object. If you select it, it will ask you for a distance. The first case is if you know your distance. I will try to type 200 and then I will press enter. If I select this line, point inward, it will copy it this way. If I select this one, I point it to this direction, it will copy it to this direction. However, if I select it, I point it to this direction, it will again copy it here. Just like this one. And lastly, even for the cycle, if I select this cycle, point it inside, it will copy. Click, point out, it will copy. Click, point out, it will copy to a distance interval of 200. However, if I don't know the distance is 200, I'll press the escape key. I will select offset again and then select true, which is this one. Click it. If I select this line I don't know the distance, I will point it outward. Maybe if I can see the reference, there is 300. If that's what I want, I'll just click. Same as this one. Click. Same as the cycle. Click. Same as this line. Offset it. It will always be parallel to the original or concentric to the original. Now I press the escape key. Click once, select everything. This is a crossing selection. It just select whatever it touches, and you are more familiar with it than you think. It just touches that line. I will just click and it got selected. And in AutoCAD, once you make a selection, if you select another object by clicking on it, it will just add to the selection. It won't deselect the first one. You can continue selecting lines individually or use that crossing selection and touch whatever you want to add to the selection, or use a window selection which, unlike the crossing, it only selects whatever is fully inside the window, like that small cycle. Click here like this one, click here like these two ones, click and touch these two, they got selected. Simply select erase and they are all gone. If you want, you can press Ctrl A on your keyboard to select everything, or press escape to deselect, and use your window selection and make sure everything is cut through. Press the delete key on your keyboard. This one is remain. Maybe let's find a unique way to delete it. Select it, right click, and there is erase as well, and erase it. Now let's make our toilet but first we have to set our unit. To do that, just type UN on your keyboard and you will get units. Press enter on your keyboard. Now I don't want this too long of a precision, so I'll select it and select just 0. For those that selected AutoCAD as our template, remember, you will see inches here, but I will advise you to select architectural if you're using inches. But for us that are using millimeters, we'll stick to decimal and click on OK. Now to draw the toilet, come up here and click on rectangle, which is an easier way of creating rectangle instead of using line. Click once anywhere in the drawing area, point diagonally and type a distance. For the horizontal, you can see it is highlighted. I will type 1500. If you're using inches, just type 5 and then type the apostrophe sign before your enter key, meaning 5 feet. Of course, you know better. Press the tab key to input the other value. Now type, for that one, type 2100, which is 7 feet, and then press enter. Now click on the wheel of your mouse, press it, and then move it to pan around. This is called panning. Now select offset and give a thickness of a wall, which is 230. For those using inches, just type 9, don't put any symbol, and then press enter. Click once and then point outside and click. Now in the next part, we will wrap up the wall, draw the toilet and basin, make them a block and update all copies at once. Finally, we will dive into plotting to PDF and how to control layers right from your PDF reader.